Hello students, let's continue to learn about some commercially important polymers. In the previous video, we have seen some of the commercially important addition polymers. In today's video, we are going to see commercially important condensation polymers. I hope you know the difference between addition and condensation polymers, which I have taught in the first video about polymers. So before we move on to the condensation polymers, let's have a look at the monomers that we will be using to prepare these condensation polymers. We know in condensation polymerization, a series of condensation reaction takes place, which means there will be loss of small molecules such as H2O, NH3 or alcohol. So this type of polymerization usually occurs between monomers containing two or more functional groups. So in the first monomer that I have written here, which is called as phthalic acid, there will be two acid groups. We call such compounds as dicarboxylic acids. So if you take a benzene ring and put two COOH groups, then we call that as phthalic acid. And in terephthalic acid also, you're going to take a benzene ring and put two COOH groups. But the difference between this and this is the position of the COOH group. Now I'll write and show you. So these are the structures of phthalic acid and terephthalic acid. Here the COOH group in the first and the second position. Here first and the fourth position. We call this terephthalic acid as benzene 1,4-dioic acid. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,4-dioic acid. The next one is adipic acid. In adipic acid also we have two COOH groups, but instead of benzene ring we will be having CH2 4 times. This is the formula for adipic acid, and remember we can write the COOH group either ways, like this or this, but we usually prefer to write this way so that it will be easier to write the polymers from this monomer, because we are going to remove a molecule of water. So if you write it this way, then it will be easy for you to remove that water and write the formula for polymer without any mistake. This is the adipic acid. See, CH2 4 times. The next one is glycine. Glycine is an amino acid. From the name itself, you know, amino acid. There are two functional groups. Acid, you know, COOH. And what is an amine group? It is NH2. So in glycine, you will be having both NH2 and COOH group. In the next one, aminocaproic acid also, you will be having both NH2 and COOH group. But the number of CH2 groups will be differing in both the cases. So glycine is NH2, CH2, COOH. This is glycine. If this CH2 is 5 times, then it is aminocaproic acid. See, NH2, CH2 5 times COOH. And the last one is hexamethylene diamine. Hexa means 5. Methylene, CH2. Sorry, hexa means 6. So methylene, CH2 6 times. And diamine, you have two NH2 groups. So NH2, CH2 6 times. NH2 is the formula for hexamethylene diamine. These are the polymers that we will be using to prepare the condensation polymers. These are the monomers that we will be using to prepare the condensation polymers. Along with these monomers, we will be using phenol. You know what is the formula for phenol? C6H5OH. And the next one is formaldehyde. And the formula is HCHO. And we usually prefer to write formaldehyde as this. This is formaldehyde, HCHO. Again, it is easier to show the reaction and write the polymer if you write the formaldehyde like this. And the next one is ethylene glycol. You know the formula for ethylene glycol. It is a diol, which means it has two OH groups. OH, CH2, CH2, OH. I have told you in the previous video how to write this ethylene glycol from ethene. So these are the polymers that we will be using. So before we move on to the preparation of these condensation polymers, I will show you an easy way to write the polymers without mistake from these monomers. Actually, these are not the mechanism that I'm going to show you. It's just an easy way to remember and to write it without any mistakes. As I told you, in condensation polymerization, small molecules like water is removed. So in all the condensation polymers that we are going to see today, water molecule will be removed. So you know the reaction will be happening between monomers containing two or more functional groups. So here the different functional groups can be COOH, NH2 or OH. So when you have these functional groups, I'll show you what part of that functional group will be removed as water molecule, so that you can write the polymer from the given monomer. If you have an acid group, OH will be removed from that. So this OH will go out if you have an acid group. If you have an alcohol group, which means OH group, H will be removed from that. H will be removed. If you have an amine group, one H from that will be removed. So we will be writing N bond H. So remember this, then it will be easy for you to write the polymers from the monomers. Now we will see these condensation polymers one by one. The first condensation polymer is terylene or dacron. It is a copolymer of terephthalic acid and ethylene glycol. You know what is a copolymer? If the polymer is prepared from two or more than two types of monomer, then we call that polymer as copolymer. So here we are going to use two different monomers, terephthalic acid and ethylene glycol. So you know the formula for ethylene glycol, COH, CH2, CH2OH. Don't forget to put this in. And next one is terephthalic acid. So benzene ring, first and the fourth position, COOH groups. And remember what I told you, if you have COOH group, OH will be going out. If you have OH, H will be going out. So it's very easy to write the polymer. Here this H will go out, here this H will go out, and here OH will go out, and same way here OH will go out. So write everything else as the product. Now see, put a bond in the front, bond O, bond CH2, CH2, again bond O, and put a bond here instead of this plus, and after that C double bond O, because this OH and H has been removed as H2O. So C double bond O, put this benzene ring, again C double bond O, put a bond and close the bracket n times. Again this OH has been removed, because in polymerization reaction you will be having a series of monomers, not just one monomer or not just two monomers. You will be having plenty of monomers, and this reaction will continue. So we are just writing the repeated unit alone. So this is the repeating unit in terylene, and n, put n times. So this is the formula for terylene, or also called as dacron. Terylene forms strong fibers. So these fibers are used in the manufacture of textiles. These textiles prepared from terylene fibers appear warm on touching. They are easy to wash and are not affected by atmospheric changes. So because of these properties, terylene has become very popular in textile industry. Now let's move on to the next condensation polymer, which has commercial importance. The next condensation polymer is glyptol. Glyptol is a polymer of ethylene glycol and phthalic acid. Now this is ethylene glycol, you know the formula, and again this is phthalic acid, see COOH. And remember what I told you, from OH, H will be removed, again from this OH, H will be removed, from COOH, OH will be removed, again from this COOH, OH will be removed. So just join everything and write. So put a bond O, don't write that H, bond O, CH2 bond CH2 bond O again, and here put a bond and join with this, not with this benzene ring. Benzene ring will be here, just like hanging along with this COOH group. So from this OH has been removed, so just C double bond O, put the benzene ring, and here again C double bond O, bond n times. So this is the structure of glyptol polymer. This glyptol is soluble in suitable solvents, and the solution on evaporation leaves a tough and non-flexible film. So because of this property, it is used in the manufacture of paints and lacquers. The next polymer is nylon 6. Nylon 6 is a polymer of caprolactam. I didn't show you the caprolactam structure when I introduced you to the monomers of this condensation polymers. So now you see the caprolactam structure. Caprolactam is a cyclic structure. You have 5 CH2. See, CH2, CH2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A C double bond O, and which is again connected to NH. So this is caprolactam. See the structure, it is not hexagonal. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bonds here. So this is the structure of caprolactam. When you treat it in the presence of water at 533 to 543 Kelvin, you get nylon 6. See, CH2 5, C double bond O. You have 6 carbon atoms totally in the repeating unit. So this chain has just become a linear, this cyclic structure has become a linear structure, and put n times. So this is the structure of nylon 6. It's very easy to write from here. So just make a break here. So CH2 5 times, C double bond O, NH n times. This is used in the manufacture of cords, fabrics and ropes. Next one is nylon 66 or nylon 66. It is a polymer of hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. This is adipic acid, COOH, CH2 4 times COOH, adipic acid, and hexamethylene 6 times CH2, hexamethylene diamine 2NH2. And remember what I told you, from NH2, one H will be removed. So one H will go from here, and one H will go from here, and from this what will go? OH, and here OH will go. So just write the polymer. Here in the polymer I have written this monomer first. You can write either ways. So N bond H, because one H has been removed. So N bond H, CH2 6 times, again N bond H, bond, just join with this, C double bond O, CH2 4 times, again C double bond O N times. This is the nylon 6 polymer and the repeating unit. This nylon 66 is used in the manufacture of strings, bristles of brushes, the brushes that you use for brushing your teeth, the bristles are made up of nylon 66, and also in textile industry. Next one is melamine formaldehyde resin. And this is a copolymer of melamine and formaldehyde. So this is the structure of melamine. See, you know how to draw a benzene ring? In benzene ring we have carbons everywhere. Here, instead of carbon, if you put nitrogen, see N, 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 and in all the 3 positions NH2. This is the formula for melamine, and you know this is formaldehyde. In the first step, you will get a resin intermediate. So this is the intermediate. It is just melamine is written here, and instead of this hydrogen, we are just writing it here. CH2 OH, this H is joined here. This is not the actual mechanism. I'm just telling you to remember how to write this intermediate. So remove this H and put it here. So CH2OH, and just write it along with this NH. See, NH, CH2OH. Everything else in the melamine is written as such. And this will undergo polymerization. And again, I told you in NH2, H will be removed. In OH, OH will be removed. Write everything as such. See, NH bond, NH CH2 bond, OH is removed, and here NH, and everything else is written as such and put N times. So this is the structure of melamine formaldehyde resin. This melamine formaldehyde resin is commonly known as melamine polymer. It is a thermosetting plastic. It is widely used for making non-breakable plastic crockery, that is dinner sets, cups, plates, etc. This melamine crockery is hard and does not break on being dropped. So even if you drop these melamine polymer plates, it will not break because it is very hard. Now the last condensation polymer is bakelite. We just saw melamine polymer is a copolymer of melamine and formaldehyde. Just like that, bakelite is a polymer of phenol and formaldehyde. This polymer was first prepared by Baekeland, an American chemist. So he gave this name bakelite. Phenol formaldehyde resins are prepared by the reaction of phenol and formaldehyde in the presence of a catalyst. It can be either H plus or OH minus. When this phenol reacts with formaldehyde and undergoes polymerization, it forms two different types of polymers. One is linear, the other one is cross-linked. Now see this is phenol, formaldehyde, and first step you are getting these two products, OH, CH2OH, here in the ortho position and here in the para position. And now this will undergo polymerization. See, N times ortho position. So what you are getting, I told you, from OH, OH will be removed. This OH stays intact. This OH is removed. So this CH2 bond with another molecule of this ortho product, you are getting a linear chain. This linear polymer which we get from phenol and formaldehyde is called as Novolac. This Novolac we are getting from this product. This is called as orthohydroxy methyl phenol. Okay, orthohydroxy methyl phenol. So from this you are getting a linear polymer which is called as Novolac, and Novolac is used in paints. And now when this Novolac is heated with formaldehyde, it undergoes cross-linking to form an infusible solid, and that is called as Bakelite. So we are going to take this Novolac and heat it with formaldehyde, and so you will get a cross-link like this. See this one, take this one OH CH2, and this is getting joined to this. Okay, so this linear chain is Novolac, and this linear chain is forming a cross link with the another Novolac. So this continues to give you Bakelite, and that Bakelite is a infusible solid mass. And just like melamine, Bakelite is also a thermosetting plastic or thermosetting polymer. This Bakelite is used for making combs, fountain pen barrels, phonograph records, electrical switches and handles of various utensils. So these are the condensation polymers which have commercial importance. Just like how we grouped addition polymers under certain families like polyolefins and polydienes, polyacrylates, polyhaloolefins, we can group this condensation polymers also. We can group them as polyesters, polyamides and formaldehyde resins. So Dacron and Glyptol will come under polyesters because these polymers have ester linkages, COO linkage. So we group them under polyesters. Whereas nylon 6,6 and nylon 6 are called as polyamides because they have amide linkage, C double bond O NH. That is amide group. So when they have polyamide group, we group them under polyamides, which is nylon 6,6 and nylon 6. And finally, formaldehyde resins. Bakelite, melamine polymer come under this because we prepare them from formaldehydes. So we are done with the polymers under the topic addition and condensation polymers. And these are the list of polymers given in your textbook, which are usually asked in board exams. So the questions will be like, they will give you a polymer and they will ask you for the monomers. For example, they'll ask you to write the structure and the name of the monomers prepared in the used in the preparation of nylon 6,6. So you should write the formula and structure of hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. So one type of question will be like that. Another type of question will be, they will give you the monomers and they will ask you to write the structure and the name of the polymer. For example, they'll give you ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid and ask you what polymer will be formed. You know it is Dacron, or you can call it as Terylene also. So you have to draw the structure of Dacron and then name it as Dacron or Terylene. In another type of question, they'll give you the structure of the repeating unit in any of the polymer. And from that repeating unit, they will not give the name. So from the repeating unit, they will ask you to write the monomers used. For example, they will give you the repeating unit of Buna S rubber and ask you what is the monomer used here. So in preparing Buna S, what are the monomers used? butadiene and styrene. So they will not give you the name of the BUNA-S, but they will give you the structure of BUNA-S polymer and ask you to write the monomers. So these type of questions will be asked from this topic. So you should be very clear with the monomers and also with the polymers. But once you're thorough with the monomers, it's very easy for you to write the polymer from the respective monomers. Thank you.